What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here, and welcome to my week number 8 game predictions for the NFL games. Wow, it's week 8 already. It always seems to go fast. But anyway, before we move on to the week 8 predictions, let's recap how I did with the week 7 predictions. So as you guys can see, after going 7-7 for like 2 or 3 straight weeks, I have done it, and I've gotten a pretty good positive record, really good positive record of 10-5. So this brings our overall record to 51-40. 51 being the ones I got correct, and 40 being the ones I didn't. So yeah, well, we're getting more of a distance between the ones I got right and ones I got wrong, and getting a more positive record, which is something I hope we keep up. Now, that isn't my best my best record was week 2. I went 12-4, but I think this is the second best record I ever did. So let's see what the games look like. The Raiders and Chiefs. I had the Chiefs, but the Raiders won only by a point. That I was kind of regretting not picking the Raiders, and as you guys know, the Raiders won, so I even regret it even more. I don't know. I thought the Chiefs were gonna play a little harder just to get back on track after their loss, and how I thought Derek Carr and the Raiders were gonna need another game to get back on track. But hey, I guess I was wrong. That was a pretty good game. Yeah, the Raiders won. So yeah, Raiders won. Next game, the Vikings beat the Ravens. I got that right. Next game, the Saints beat the Packers. I got that right. The Dolphins beat the Jets, even though they almost lost again. I got that right. The Bears beat the Panthers. I got that wrong. I'm very surprised at the Bears this season, which I'm kind of happy, because I'm feeling a little bit better about the Bears beating the Steelers if they're gonna beat other good teams. The Rams blew out and shut out the Cardinals. I know Carson Palmer got injured. Got that wrong. I'm not sure if I forget if I said it or not, but I got the Bears and Panthers one wrong. I think I did, but we're moving on. The Bills beat the Buccaneers. I got that right. I was happy about that because I chose that as an upset, so I was a little bit not confident on that pick, but it turned out good. The Jaguars blew out the Colts 27-0. I got that right. The Titans almost lost to the Browns, but they didn't. I got that right. The Cowboys beat the 49ers 40-10. I got that right. That wasn't really surprising because it's the 49ers. Sorry, 49ers fans. The Steelers beat the Bengals. I got that right. Happy to see that. The Seahawks beat the Giants. I got that right. The Chargers blew out the Broncos 21-0. I got that wrong. The Patriots beat the Falcons. I got that wrong. I was disappointed in that. I thought the Falcons were gonna put up a better game against the Patriots, kind of like they did in the Super Bowl, only not really blowing it. But they this time they didn't even have a lead to blow. And then the last game, the Eagles beat the Redskins. I got that right. So with that all being said, let's get into the Week 8 picks. Alright, let's get started here with Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins versus the Ravens. I have the Dolphins. The Dolphins, Jay Cutler went down. Matt Moore led them back to a victory over the Jets. I know that was the Jets, but the Ravens don't look too good this year, and I don't know, maybe it's just my bias, because like I said before, I am a Steelers fan, so maybe this is just my wishful thinking, that the Dolphins are going to beat the Ravens, but I think they are going to. I know I said that last week, and it turned out it wasn't my wishful thinking, because the Vikings actually did beat the Ravens. So yeah, who knows? I actually do think the Dolphins can beat the Ravens, but I don't know. Maybe some people might think that's just my bias. Next game, going into Sunday games, we have the Vikings and the Browns. I have the Vikings. The Browns are going to have another struggling year and be lucky to go 1-15. If you asked me beginning of the season, I thought, the Browns might go like 4-12 or something along those lines. Get like a couple wins, still be garbage and not make the playoffs. But I didn't think they're going to do exact same, maybe even worse than last year. But who knows? I was wrong. The Vikings are beating the Browns. I don't see the Browns beating the Vikings, even if the Browns were to get a win. Next game, Patriots and Chargers. I have the Patriots. The Patriots of course, they beat the Falcons pretty good, and the Chargers are definitely worse than the Falcons. So I have the Patriots because they're the Patriots and the Chargers are the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers have what it takes to beat the Patriots. So yeah, just the Patriots are elite. So I have the Patriots. Next game, the Bears and the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints, even though I was tempted to, I don't know why I said it like that, but I was tempted to take the Bears just because they've been so surprising on all these games. But I feel like every time I think a team's going to be surprising, they're not. And I feel like the Bears have been too surprising lately, so I feel like they're going to fall to the Saints here. And the Saints look alright, so, yeah, I got the Saints. Next game, Panthers and Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers. The Panthers came off a pretty bad loss, and the Buccaneers came off a loss too, even though they put up points. They lost by a field goal. The Buccaneers are worse than the Panthers, so I guess this is kind of an upset there, but not really, because I feel like the Buccaneers are still a decent team, but I'm not sure what's happening. I think Jameis Winston is back. I think he might have still be injured, but I saw he got injured, and then I think I saw him. He's back. I don't know if he's not back, then that's my fault. But if he is, I definitely have the Buccaneers. Next game, Bengals and Colts. I have the Bengals. I just don't see it. The Colts are just not good without Andrew Luck, and even with Andrew Luck, they're pretty mediocre. So I think the Bengals are winning it. The Bengals, of course, they didn't look too good against the Steelers, which I was very happy about. But yeah, if the Bengals lose, I'll be happy, but I just don't think they are, so I will take the Bengals on this one. Next game, the Raiders and the Bills. I have the Raiders. The Bills, I took as a surprising upset last week against the Buccaneers. I got it right, and they've had a few surprising upsets this year, so they're the real deal this year, but I don't think they're the real deal enough to get done against the Raiders. I think the Raiders will get very much back on track from losing Derek Carr and suffering some losses. Ever since that Chief win, I think they're going to just keep building up from that, and I think they're going to get done at the Bills. Sure, it might be a close game, but the Raiders will get the win in the end is what I predict. Alright, next game, the Eagles and the 49ers. I have the Eagles. However, I do believe the 49ers will not be like the Browns. They will get at least one win this season. The Browns are looking like they're going 0-16. But I think the Eagles win this. The Eagles just look so elite right now. I do believe they're going to probably maybe win their division. But I think they're definitely going to the playoffs. They're like 7-1 at this point. It's unless they choke really, really bad, they're pretty much going to the playoffs. And the 49ers are still not looking like the best team. They will get a win or two here, but not against the Eagles. Next game, the Falcons and the Jets. The Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, are kind of on a little bit of a down streak here and just coming off a loss against the Patriots. But I think they're going to get this one. I have the Falcons getting it done against the Jets. The Jets, even though they're very surprising, I still think they're not that good, and they're just not going to win the Falcons. I think the Falcons do have this. Just don't choke, Falcons, please. Next game is a pretty interesting matchup. The Texans and the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks. two pretty good, decent teams. I just think the Seahawks are a little bit better. Both of those teams' defenses are really good. But yeah, I just think the Seahawks have a little bit more of a better team than the Texans. Even though, Deshaun Watson and everyone like that, they look pretty nice. I don't know. The Seahawks are still pretty good, so I think they're going to win that. Next game, the Cowboys and the Redskins. I have the Cowboys. The Redskins, they're just... they had like a surprising victory against the Raiders. Then again, I think their car was out, so that wasn't that surprising because the Raiders are like horrible without Derek Carr. It's very surprising. They're really elite with Derek Carr, but without him, they're just terrible. So I think the Cowboys will win this. They're just a better team than the Redskins, and they're just gonna win that rivalry right there. And yeah, I just have the Cowboys. I just don't think the Redskins are that good of a team, and the Cowboys are a pretty good team. Alright, the last Sunday game is my game. The Steelers versus the Lions. You guys know I got the Steelers. The Lions are a pretty decent team as well. However, I just think the Steelers are going to get it done because they're a decent team. And because the Steelers choke against the bad teams. They underestimate the bad teams. But they get it done against the good teams. Like they did with the Chiefs and like they lost to the Jaguars and the Bears. However, there are some teams like the Browns and the Bengals where they're just too bad to lose to even the Steelers and choke to them. But yeah, I think the Steelers are gonna win this. It's not gonna be an easy one. It's gonna be a little bit of a tough one, but I think the Steelers are gonna come up on top. And then the last game, Monday Night Football, the Broncos and the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to come back from their 2-loss streak after being the only undefeated team in the NFL, and they're going to get done against the Broncos. The Broncos just got shut out by the Chargers, so maybe they're looking for some revenge and are looking for a win, but I think the Chiefs are honestly better than the Broncos, and, the Chiefs will be looking for a win and trying to win this, after losing to the Steelers and then losing to the Raiders. And I think the Chiefs are going to win this. They're just better and they're just good, and they're going to bounce back from their 2-loss streak and get some more wins here. So those are my Week 8 predictions. Let's recap them really quick here. I have the Dolphins being the Ravens, the Vikings being the Browns, the Patriots being the Chargers, the Saints being the Bears, the Buccaneers being the Panthers, the Bengals being the Colts, the Raiders being the Bills, the Eagles being the 49ers, the Falcons being the Jets, the Seahawks being the Texans, the Cowboys being the Redskins, the Steelers beating the Lions, and the Chiefs beating the Broncos. Guys, those are my picks for week number 8. If you want to know how I did, how many I got right, make sure you watch week 9 predictions, because like this video, how I recapped week 7, I'll be recapping week 8 and then giving my week 9 predictions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's see how good I do. I'm coming off a good week. Good 10-5 week. The last 2 weeks I went 7-7. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like or dislike. Subscribe or don't subscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch with me. Goodbye. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. You know, it's always up to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video you watch with me. Goodbye.